What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It's your boy, Jake Hazen from Kota Coppers, back with you another week. We missed last week. What were you even doing? We're just super busy with work and school, right? That's what it
Yes,
was.
just some stuff going on, got busy, and we were like, we're not putting out a podcast this week. So to all like millions of our fans, we're sorry. We're back though, so that's
Yeah,
all that
I
matters.
was stuck in midterm doing homework at least on average 4 to 5 hours a night for that
Yeah, it's
week.
fun.
So it's good
That's so
times, good
funny.
times.
Maybe you should
Did pretty
just
well
not be
though.
in school anymore.
Went 4-2 that week. Went four
Yeah,
and
I
two,
went I
so
went
I
five
had a
and
solid
one,
week.
including a plus 255 money line max. So
Who was that?
Michigan State.
Oh, that was a great bet. That was a great bet. Yeah, it was a pretty contrarian week last week. You gotta love those. Gotta love those. So board this week, tough. It's tough board. Not tough because it's hard, just tough because it sucks. There's really not a lot of bye weeks this week, and I'm a really big Pac-12 guy, and there's only like 3 Pac-12 games. One of both of them, and 2 of them involve 2 teams with losing records. So not too enticing on my end. So I don't really have much to talk about this week. I know JD doesn't really as much either. So we're gonna do a lot more compact, a lot more short paced episode. Gonna bullshit a little bit more since we're talking about less games. So we're just gonna go take turns, talk about what plays we're on, talk about it a little bit, and then get to the rest of the show. So my first play I want to be talking about is this Texas Oklahoma State game. I'm a big Texas believer. I have a ticket on them to make the playoff, ticket on them to win the championship, ticket on them to win the Big 12, and their win total. Sadly, because Quinn Ewers got hurt against Alabama, they're probably not making the playoffs. I don't know. Could they, though, if they went out in dominant fashion?
They've got 2 losses. They would be what, the first team to ever make it with 2 losses. But if they do,
Slap. It was different, though. They never quarterback.
all of a sudden you've got the excuse you lost to Bama by 1. Quinn's out. You would need Tennessee to probably drop 2 in the
Yeah,
meantime,
you need
or
one
2
SEC
would,
team to make it in.
yeah. So it'd be tough, but it's doable. It's definitely doable. So we'll see.
Dude, long as their quarterback didn't get hurt, bro, they'd probably be undefeated right now, ranked
Oh
number
yeah, they
2 in the
definitely would.
country.
They would have beat Bama by 14, and they would have definitely not lost to Texas Tech. So I don't know, gross, but whatever.
Yeah, but this line's a lot of points. There's a lot of people who still think Oklahoma State's kind of them. I mean, this Big 12 is so weird. I think Oklahoma State's good, but this Texas team, I just think is loaded. And a lot of people are going to look at this line. Like I said, screw the X's and O's. We're betting contrarian or betting the lines. Getting 6.5 points at home is a huge number to pass out. It's just line. Look at line so false, but it's a lot of points to give out. I think Vegas is showing a lot of respect to Texas. Right now, I'm seeing about 65% of the bets and only 50% of the money on Oklahoma State, which means Texas is sharp and they're contrarian. So that's a side I definitely want to be siding on. What do you think about this game, JD?
I'm on Texas as well. I actually got them at -6, so even better than 6.5. We love to see that. Yeah, I'm on Texas as well. I think, again, the line tells you all you need to know about this game. I actually think it'll be a pretty good game, but Texas just needs to be the last team to have the ball and throw a touchdown to go up by 7 as time runs out. And perfect. Absolute money. Yeah, I really like Texas this week. I think they're the best team in the Big 12, and they're so back. So let's
Wow.
see it. Yeah.
This line opened 4.5 and moved all the way to 6.5. That's a
Now,
good
Pace
sign.
actually got it at 4.5, like right when it dropped, and it moved within like a day, not even. So
It's a good sign to get that line early. It's a good sign when the line goes away from your number, it goes up to 6.5. That means they're sharp. So love to see that. I'm gonna eat the sharp scraps here and get 6.5, but I think I'll be all right. Well, go live it on. Which game would you want to talk about, JD, next?
let's just hit them with another banger right away. UCLA, Oregon. At Oregon, this is honestly a very, very similar game to that Texas Oklahoma State game, but just roles reversed. The home team is giving 6.5 here versus the away team. But yeah, man, I think Oregon is the better football team. UCLA, they're like, they're damn good. They're damn good. They're fun to watch. I love UCLA. I just don't think they do much better than Oregon. Oregon's, 1 loss. Obviously, you could say they should have lost the Wazoo game, but to Georgia. But at home, they've been an absolute wagon. They beat up Stanford by 18. They beat BYU by 21. Like they beat obviously Eastern Washington, beat by 56, but who cares? It really doesn't matter. The point is the line is telling you what to bet here. Oregon, better football team. I think this one opened at like 4.5 or 5-ish as well, and moved up. I got them at 6. They're -6.5 now. You're the Pac-12 guy. Do you agree with this, or you like the dog here?
this game is really weird to me. I don't know who covers. I just know for a fact Oregon's going to win. I'm going to stay with this game personally. Think about UCLA. They do this every single year. They bring back all this talent, bring back all these 4-year, 5-year, 25, 29, 35-year-old players. You're always loaded with those guys. And it always seemed to start out hot. But this team seems like it'd be different this year because Utah, they just beat USC, proven to be a pretty solid, formidable opponent. They just beat Utah, wasn't just frauds or anything. So it's tough. It's tough. I don't really know what to lean to this game. I think Oregon wins, but I don't know if I can really. I'm going to stick to it. I think UCLA is going to show out. I won't be surprised to end with 3 to 4 losses, and this is when the losses are going to get. And yeah, I just not confident enough, man, with this big fat UFC card that we're not going to talk about. But I got enough units to play it over there. It's this type of game I'm going to lay off for the week.
I get it, man. I get it. You kick it to you for the next game. What game you want to talk about?
Gosh, what a beautiful board. I guess we'll head right back over. Actually, no, we'll go to the Big Ten. We'll go to the Big Ten next. This is what you call a perfect buy low spot with Minnesota plus 4.5 against Penn State this week. Now, you can make the argument Penn State's got their shit kicked in by Michigan. Coming into last week and today, everyone could agree that Penn State's the third best Big Ten team, no matter what, regardless of what happened last week. Absolutely. Everyone can still agree to that, correct?
Without a doubt.
So, not too much change for me that, but freaking losing to Illinois like that is a lot bigger tell, I think, for Minnesota-wise, compared to what Penn State lost to Michigan, who was a playoff team last year. People were super high in Minnesota going this year. They're just beating this shit. I mean, crushing these super crappy teams that you should beat the shit out of, but they're doing it every single time convincingly. So a lot of hype got built up as Minnesota team. Tanner Morgan, the guy is probably my old as my dad, still playing there. He's looking pretty crap lately.
Maybe older.
Maybe Ibrahim.
Yeah. I always thought it was Mo Ibrahim, but now they're saying Ibrahim. So I don't fucking know.
That guy's been good. He's been a stud.
He's a monster.
But
one of the best.
4.5 points at home seems a little short against this beat up Minnesota team coming on the road. Who's a lot of people are calling out the fraud flag on it. I don't know to say they could be frauds, but guess what? They're covering 4.5 points this week because that line tells me so.
And dude, it opened at like 6.5 too, and moved up. So
I mean, they're sharp.
I agree that this is definitely a sharp play. I can't touch this game. Reason being, I don't know what the quarterback situation is like for either of these teams. Tanner Morgan is banged up. I don't know if he's going to play. I think he's going to play. I don't know anything about their backup. I can't assume he's very good if he's not starting over Tanner Morgan. So, and I know he threw a pick in like his very short stint in the last game. And Penn State, on the other hand, they put in Drew Allard against Michigan in relief of Sean Clifford. And I think I could definitely see them being like, oh, Allard is our guy going forward. So I don't know. Like, there's just too many question marks surrounding this game for me to commit to one side. I agree with you wholeheartedly. This is the buy low spot for Minnesota. I don't know if they win the game, but I think covering is definitely in play here. It's the whiteout game for Penn State. That's something that maybe makes me a little bit nervous too.
Feel more confident. The whiteout, they're a 500 team in whiteout games.
That's bad.
It's a false narrative.
On the college football show on Tuesday, I said Penn State's undefeated against the spread in the whiteout games and undefeated against the under in whiteout games. I just made it up. I was like that.
No, they're actually not as much of the wagons as people think they are.
No, yeah, that makes sense.
All right, well, we'll swing it over to you talking about this game. What else is catching your eye?
Let's stay in the Big Ten, actually, and let's talk about Wisconsin and Purdue. I feel like this is kind of another, this is a fishy line. This actually might be one of the more fishy lines I've seen in a while. I think Wisconsin, coming off of a loss at Michigan State against a bad Michigan. I'll just say it, a bad Michigan State team. They were 7.5 point favorites, lost outright in double overtime. And now you're telling me this Purdue team that beat Minnesota, just coming off a big win at Maryland. And obviously they kind of struggle with Nebraska. I get it. But a good Purdue team, a team that can throw the ball, one of Wisconsin's just defensive weaknesses. And you're telling me Wisconsin is 2.5 point favorites. I love it. I think Wisconsin is just honestly the better team. They're getting some key pieces back here, and this line is just really, really fishy to me. Wisconsin has had, obviously, I know they lost they just got beat at Michigan State, and Illinois walked in and beat them up, but Camp Randall's still a tough place to play. I think that Wisconsin definitely, even though they're like 2-2 there this year or something, it's not good. But yeah, I just think that they're just as good of a team as at Purdue. And if you're going to give me 2.5 points at home, I'm going to take it. Or I mean, if you're telling me that Wisconsin's 2.5 point favorites at home, I'm going to trust that, and I'm going to take it. I like Wisconsin this weekend. I actually took money line. For some reason, this feels like a game that they win by 1. I don't know what it is, but it's something fishy. Graham Mertz is going to throw like a pick 6 on a 2-point conversion to bring Purdue within 1 or some garbage. I don't know what it's going to be, but something fishy is going to happen. So
why would that happen?
I don't know. Just trust. But yeah, I don't know. You got anything in this game? Is this a fishy line to you?
Same boat as you are. Like I said, I'm really being selective on my spots this week. I would not be betting it, but I would definitely lean the same way as JD here. Yeah, 2.5 points. This team is terrible. Purdue, they got the flashy quarterback, Aiden McConnell, flashy team. A lot of hype of them coming this year. People are going to want to take these points plus 2.5 on the road. People don't much respect Wisconsin anymore, but guess who does? Vegas still has respect for them. So I'm going to go and ride Vegas' coattails. If I had to place a bet in this game, I would do that. But no for me. Big Ten kind of owns me. So
the line has stayed like the exact same too all week, which is
a
crazy.
freeze line, man.
There's a
line.
lot of people on Purdue. So, all right. Take some.
We're heading over to the West Coast, baby. Pac-12. This is my last pick that's really just catching my eyes. Like I said, really tough week. Really tough week. And not too much catching my eye out. But I'm going ahead and backing Cal plus 7.5 at home against Washington. Sadly, they have the Heisman winner, Michael Penix, that paid out week 3. So congrats, Michael Penix, Heisman bettors. That was a great bet. That shit was already paid out, and they beat Michigan State. But as I was saying, this line isn't really contrarian. It's not really sharp. It's just kind of going my Pac-12 gut here. I think this California team's a lot better than what the record really shows. I like their quarterback a lot, Jake Plummer. I think they got weapons at wide receiver. Their defense is solid, not great, but good enough. And I think this Washington team is just Swiss cheese. I think Jake Plummer can really have a heyday against them. And I'm always surprised to see a lot of points in this game at 55.5, but I won't be betting the over here. I'd be taking this Cal to plus 7.5 points. I think they get it done. I think 7.5 is quite a bit, and people are gonna try to ride the coattails on Washington. I think after Michael Penix looks so good, this whole team looks so good. Granted, they did just lose back-to-back games. Did they win last week, or they lost back-to-back games before that? How's their schedule? Washington. They lost back-to-back, then just beat Arizona.
The Cal just lost to Colorado, so it's the ultimate. It's the old bounce back.
I was getting to that. Yeah, so this is what you call the bounce back bowl per se. But yeah, losing to Colorado is pretty freaking crazy. So,
disgusting.
Like I said, I still think this team's better than their record, and I'm not afraid to back them here. 7.5 points at home.
I agree. I actually really like Cal in this game. This was something I was really looking at. Actually, possibly is my upset of the week, but I didn't end up taking it. So, yeah, I like that as well. And like Jake said, he is the Pac-12 guru. So I would tail it, man. I would personally tail it. Let's move to the ACC couple of games if you don't have anything left. Duke and Miami. Miami -9 here doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Just feels like the sharp side. I don't know. I mean, they're obviously better than Duke. They're obviously
fucking Miami.
Fuck
them.
Miami does suck, but they're still better than Duke. I don't care what anybody says. Miami's also like not that great at home. I know, gross. But I don't know how this Duke team stops them from scoring a bunch of points. And I don't know. It's just, I think they're the better team. They're at home. 9 points is sharp. It's wide though. It's definitely wide. Like, I think people are going to look at this game and be like, you're giving me this Duke team with a better record against Miami. And you're giving me 9 points. Like, that's crazy. That's square as hell. I don't care. Miami -9. I love it. Yeah, that's the play. I know you hate Miami, so I don't even know if you have a lean.
I've bet Miami way too many times this year. They don't fucking cover ever. So I don't think they've covered yet.
State of the ACC.
I don't think they've covered yet.
They're
serious.
Yeah, I think you're right. Let me double check. 1-5. 1-5 against the spread.
Yeah, I was taking place in 3 of those games. So
Yep.
And no, I was not. That was not part of the winning party.
They did cover in the first game of the year against Bethune Cookman.
Bethune Cookman,
Yep.
alma mater of Nick Collins, Packers legend.
Sure. Yeah. Word.
He was on the Super Bowl team.
Yeah.
But
Sick call out.
yeah, that's about it.
I've got 2 more games I want to talk about. Do you have anything else? Are you good?
No, dude, the sports.
Okay. Yeah. No,
Greasy.
I agree. Syracuse Clemson, I want to talk about. I love the under this week. It's my lock of the week, which means you should probably fade it. Clemson, took the Clemson Wake Forest under. That wasn't even close. It like doubled. But I just think that Syracuse doesn't have that high-powered, fast-paced offense, like the type of offense that scores points on this Clemson defense. We saw it with NC State, same kind of thing. 20 to 30 game, 50 points. And I think we see a very similar game with Syracuse. This one's really interesting to me. I don't know. The spread's intriguing too. Clemson minus 13.5. I was like originally intrigued by, but then I was like, I'm going to stay away. I really like the under here. It makes sense to me logically, and it's sharp. So it's probably going to lose by like 50 points again. But that's what I like here. Do you have any leans on this game or not really?
I lean Clemson every week, bro. Every
Yeah,
week I lean Clemson. Not the one to ask here.
Fair enough. I know you're a big Clemson guy, so
too big. I need Frank to get out of this right now. 3-2 count, and he came up, got his fancy score. Little live updates from the Yankees Astros game.
What's the score of that game?
0-0. I have Framber's fancy score though.
Got you.
Got you.
All right, my last game. We're going to the MAC. I love the MAC. We are going to the absolute wagon. They won for me last week. I don't know if you saw this or not, but I had this team. I took them at -1.5. They moved to +2 before kickoff. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I'm dead. I'm so dead. And they won outright by 19. This might be the best team in the country. We're running it back with this wagon. Ohio Bobcats, baby. I got the hat right here.
Did you go to Ohio?
Oh, yeah. No, I went to Ohio State, but I just got this hat at some point in my life.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, baby. An absolute wagon. They are incredible. 4-3 against the spread, playing against Northern Illinois. They're at home, +3. 70% of the bets, 79% of the money on Northern Illinois. Good. I want them all. I want all the money there. I don't care. Ohio's winning. They're probably gonna win this game outright. They're +3.
What's the spread?
They're +3. Hot lately. They're +3. Northern Illinois coming off a big win against Eastern Michigan. The books are like, oh my gosh, we need to correct this line. It doesn't matter. Ohio, they're red hot lately. Winners of 2 in a row against Western Michigan and Akron. And here's their 3rd win in a row against Northern Illinois on Saturday. And actually, I'm going to tell you exactly how this game is going to play out. Northern Illinois.
We got a passionate MAC fan.
Northern Illinois is probably going to be up 10 at half. They're probably going to be up 10 at half. It's what they do. And I'll double down. I'll live bet Ohio. Northern Illinois might be the best first half team in the country. I don't care. They're going to be up 10 at half, and they're going to lose outright. I'm telling you right now, that is what will happen. I'll tweet it out. I'll double down on Ohio when they're down 10 at half. I don't care. So it's money. It's money. Let's roll.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it. Do you bet MAC pretty heavy for basketball too?
Honestly, last year, like I did a good
Akron
amount on
wagons last year.
Yeah, it was there was some fun teams to bet last year.
Toledo, fuck them. They're square ass MAC team.
Fucking hate Miami of Ohio too. But yeah.
Oh, dude, I bet Miami, Ohio way too much last year, bro. They were in a sharp spot every goddamn game.
Yeah, I know. They like always lost anyway. It was stupid.
I can't wait for college basketball, bro. We're gonna be talking college hoops on here, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was just gonna say that actually. We'll definitely talk. We'll talk hoops.
Yankees double.
Yeah. So that is what we like for this week. You got anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here?
I want to talk about how Josh Donaldson hit a freaking double and didn't bat flip it, which is pretty impressive to me. So I don't see that very often. No, that's gonna cap it off for me. This kind of a sketch shitty week. So.
I love it, boys. All right. Yeah, we will. We'll be back next week. I think we'll probably, we had the off week, but I think we'll probably be back pretty much the rest of the year. So, tune in. Let's win some money again this weekend. I know we've kind of all been pretty hot lately, so let's keep that train rolling. And yeah, we'll catch you boys next week. Peace.
Just get it.